Hi everyone, in today's video I will going to explain you what are the different types of activity in Primavera P6 because that is very important as a scheduling part of the projects. You can open any of the project that you're already working on. So I'm just opening this project. Okay, and then when you click on any of the activities, okay, for say this activity, and when you go to general, so from here you will see activity type, and when you click on this drop down you will going to see finish milestone, level of effort, resource dependent, start milestone, task dependent, and then WBS summary. Now I'm just giving an activity A, then activity B, then activity C, then activity D. Okay, and these are all interlinked, so just link and then press F9 and then schedule. So now you can see these are all interlinked. For example, this is the activity which you uh, set as an start milestone. So what you can do is you can just go to the activity type and just click on start milestone, okay, and then click F9. So when you see start milestone, so you can see the date only at the start because it's a start milestone. Okay, now finish milestone, for example this activity you wanted as a finish milestone, so just click on finish, press F9, so you can see this finish milestone. Okay, now use want to have this activity as a task dependent is like so this activity B is dependent on activity A. So for example, if there is any change in activity A, the activity B will also get change. Okay, so this is a task dependent. Okay, the next is level of effort. So for example, we want to click another activity here which is called project management. Okay, project management. Okay, now we want that this activity should go throughout the project. So in level of effort activity, what we'll do is first go to the general and change it to level of effort. Okay, then set a predecessor, so give a predecessor. So I want to give a predecessor called A. So this project management would start by A, and then from here assign, and we assign D. Okay, so this is finish to finish, and then click schedule. See 10 days, so because our total duration is 10 days, so this is a level of effort activity. So level of effort activity is kind of support, project management, or anything that will go throughout your project and you don't want to see that project management as a critical activity, so you can just create that thing so that you can have a accurate total float. Okay, now next is resource dependent. So what is resource dependent? For example, there is an activity C and it is dependent on resource, so you need to change it to resource dependent. And resource dependent, for example, each and every activity of the schedule follows a calendar called framework calendar. Okay, but you want this activity to follow different calendars. So for example, I am just taking an example ABC. So for example, even if your activity B is finishes on 14th May, your activity C will not start from 15th May. Your activity will work as a resource calendar, which is ABC. If that activity is available on 15th May, then only that activity will perform. Okay, so this is a thing of the resource dependence. So right now ABC and framework calendar is same, so that's why you're not able to see any changes. But for example, you are creating some seasonal calendar for your survey. So for example, your surveys would not start in May, that should start in um, for say June. So you will not going to see here May date because this activity is dependent on resource calendar, seasonal calendar, so you will going to see here June. Okay, now what left, now the last is the WBS summary. So for example, you need an act WBS summary. Okay, so for example, don't change here, this keep it here, we'll add another activity. Okay, so here, for example, you need to create an invoice one. Okay, so for that you want like your activity A and B should start, okay, and your, I mean, start to start, and successor your activity C and D finish. Shift to and here you need to change it to WBS summary. Okay, see, your activity A and B starting from 8 and this is finished. The only difference is that between the WBS and the level of effort, in the level of effort activity you can't see those level of activity as a critical path, but if you're assigning some WBS summary, then you can see those WBS summary on critical path. Okay, so I hope now you have understood these different types of activity. So for now this is it. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. For now, bye.